We'll get the December 9th Select Board meeting to order. Bill, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh. Use the gavel on his fingers when he reaches. Okay. All right, we need to approve minutes from the November 12th, 2019 non-public meeting. We have a motion.
I move we accept the minutes as written.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. The November 12th, 2019 work session meetings.
I move that we accept those as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
November 12th, 2019 regular meeting minutes.
I move we accept the minutes.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
November 18th, 2019 budget work session minutes.
I move that we accept those as written.
I
Second.
second. Oh.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 November 25th, 2019 budget work session minutes.
I move that we accept those as written.
I was absent.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain. Absent.
December 3rd, 2019 budget work session minutes.
25th?
The 25th non-public.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. 25th non-public session minutes.
I move that we accept the 25th non-public minutes as written. Mine were out of order.
I got work session.
November 25th work session.
But didn't we approve, didn't we already approve the non-public? We approved the non-public, but
Oh,
First, we approved the
okay,
budget
we'll
ones.
have to let those go and work on that for the next meeting.
I think we're all set. We'll just, because
Did
Brian
you
was
have
in.
them?
Yeah, I got them, but I thought I moved the non-public, but let's,
Mine
Okay.
were out of order. Mine went non-public and then budget in the order, but the order on the list was the other way.
So, okay.
So did mine.
Yeah.
Yep, same here.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So you approved the budget, and now I'm approving the non-public.
sure.
They're all there.
Yeah.
There was
Right.
2 of them out of order.
Are you seconding, Bill?
Yes,
Any
I
discussion?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain. I was absent.
December 3rd, 2019 budget work session minutes.
I move we accept the minutes.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 The Select Board will meet on the following dates. Regular meeting 6 p.m. December 23rd, 2019. Budget work session 5 p.m. Monday, December 16th. And tentative budget work session December 30th, 2019. Work sessions prior to the regular meeting will start at 5 p.m. All the above meetings will be held in the town hall unless otherwise posted. The town offices will be closed Wednesday, December 25th for Christmas, and Wednesday, January the 1st for New Year's Day. As far as correspondence goes, we received via the board the Jack Scarborough resignation from the Zoning Board of Adjustment as of November 19th, 2019, for health reasons.
Okay.
Okay. We have, let's see, we have 6:15. Joe, do you want to come up and fill a few minutes?
Good evening.
Good job.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
So I've got a fuel budget, and all I'm trying to do here is, this time of year, where we start plowing and then we turn the furnace on in the shop, the bills just add up to a huge amount, so all I'm trying to do is take this budget here and just ask for a blanket, so I don't have to keep making all these purchase orders. So I'm just trying to approve. I'm not changing the amount or anything, I'm just asking for a blanket so I can just take it and not have to just keep making purchase orders every time I get fuel.
Sounds like a good use of time. Any questions?
So, and Dead River had like a bid on all the contracts or in the past, and we're just
No,
rolling them
what
over?
happens, they come every 2, 3, 4 days, whatever, and fill us up, and we get these slips, so I'll get 2 or 3 in a week's time. And so I'm over $3,000-4,000 each time, so I have to keep making these out, so, and then get them approved. So if I can still if I don't have to just go get them approved every time, just use the same purchase order, it comes out of the same line item.
Yep. Okay.
Any other questions?
I do it with all my big ticket items, and I'll probably just try to do this next year when
They just send you a bill, right? They just send you a bill, you said you get the slips,
Yep.
and then,
So when we get the slips, instead of having to keep writing purchase orders, we can just use one blanket.
yeah. And the line item is 35,000.
Yep. So it's all within that budget.
Not gonna exceed that. How's it been going so far?
Good, actually, I'd rather see snow than rain, but
Yeah, yeah,
So say we,
so far, so good.
makes it messy. Ice.
Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the contract for ultra-low sulfur clear diesel for the 2019-2020 season from Dead River Company. Up to $35,000. So,
I second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
aye.
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 All right, thank you, Joe. Joe, I'm gonna give you a call in the morning on the other thing we're working on.
Okay.
Can we clarify the meeting dates?
Want me to bring that up? Yeah. Okay. So before we go forward, do we just need to clarify the meeting dates? Because it's printed here that we have a regular meeting on December 23rd and a tentative budget work session meeting on December 30th. But we did decide not to have those 2 meetings.
Because of the holidays.
Yeah, because we're
Okay.
getting close to the
So the
holidays.
23rd and the 30th?
Right, so the only thing that would be coming up is the budget work session at 5 on Monday, December 16th.
16th. Okay, thank you. Makes my calendar look better. Okay, we have a couple of minutes. Let's see, what else? Taking care of Joe. Oh. Guess we just need to, somebody want to sing for a couple of minutes?
Larry will.
Old Lang Syne. We didn't want to hear that, Larry.
Second Tuesday.
So Larry, you don't have to hang your head in shame anymore now that Pittsburgh is winning? Yeah.
Seeing that a while. With the bird in my head to saying it.
John, do you want to do the acceptance of unanticipated funds?
Sure. We have acceptance of unanticipated funds, fire department, a Walmart grant of $1,500. We-
Need a motion for that?
Here, do you have an explanation?
No, it's just whatever was in that email, they just need to approve those funds so that we can accept them and spend them.
Okay, so we just need a motion to accept the fund.
Make a motion, we accept the unanticipated funds through the Walmart grant of $1,500.
Any
Discussion, no.
I second. Do we need a second?
second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Yeah, we're close.
Okay, we got that. What time do you have?
6:15.
6:15, okay. We'll call to order the public hearing. The Plymouth Selectboard welcomes all present for this public hearing on amendments to the existing parking ordinance originally created in 1988. Chief LaFave?
I was kind of hoping Mike was going to be here tonight.
Well, Mike was, and he
Yeah.
got called out.
Well, this is our second hearing on this already.
Yep.
The one thing, I said what I said last time, and there were a few questions. I answered those questions. However, prior to everybody coming in the room tonight, Frank Miller had a couple suggestions for clarification in it. It doesn't really change it, but I would ask that the board let him come up and speak now regarding those changes so we could make them before you guys actually make a vote on it or have to wait till the end for public comment. Because there are a couple items that need to be addressed.
Okay.
So.
My suggestions for amendments or changes to it. The first one deals with item C, which is parking within 15 feet of a hydrant that's under section F. And it's within 15 feet of a fire hydrant. I'd like to add a part that says, or as otherwise marked, because the Main Street from Warren Street to Merrill, we have 8 fire hydrants, and none of our existing spots would meet that criteria, but it's already been marked, laid out, and this is obviously accomplished before this requirement came in. So if we just put or as otherwise marked would allow that part in the part of the civic institution area, which I did not inventory, that would make that proper, correct. And the other one is under J, it is talking about the parking method of right side, but except around the common, which indicated the easterly side of the common, you parked with the left side, driver's side to the curb. That's also the same parking profile on the westerly side. So I would recommend adding and westerly side of the common to make that part of that totally correct, as we are doing it now. And that's my two pieces of it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Frank.
And Mr. Chair, I agree with those clarifications, 100%. I think they need to be addressed.
All right. Thank you very much. Right, next we'll open up the public hearing at 6:18. Do we have any members of the public that would like to speak? Go ahead. Come up there, or you can use that mic there. Just give us your name and...
Bonnie Sears. I live at 27 Steel Drive in Plymouth. The thing I was concerned about, I didn't know if anybody had made up their mind, if you're going to put in all new meters, because there was talk of that, you know, for years has been a quarter, and you wanted to increase it. But I think the cost of all those new meters, to me, wouldn't be a good idea. And that's mainly what I came here for. And also, out front where you can park, you know, if you have business, there isn't many parking places where you can do business at the town hall. Most of them are saying $75 fine for parking there. That's going up the whole thing. So if I, during the day, have to register my car or something and all the other ones are taken up, I can't park there? I didn't see anything that's saying any 20 minutes or anything. There's only a couple of them that say 20 minutes for town hall.
What's it, like five spots?
Steve?
Mr. Chair, I can address that. The town hall does a great job with communicating with either myself or parking enforcement that, hey, somebody is in registering their car, it's their car, because lots of times we pop in, we know that happens, we know the parking spots are marked like that, and we make exceptions for, you know, if those parking spots are, so she came to register her car, even if she did and got a ticket, we would take it back. If she was legitimately here registering her car, we would take that back. We would never enforce that. So we're aware of that. We do work with the town hall. We come in and ask or call them and ask, hey, do you have somebody in there and do they own this vehicle? Yes, then okay, then we let them park there because, you know, the parking spaces are limited in that area and we're aware of that.
Yeah. Because tonight I parked way up there and it still had the same sign. And it's, is there an hour, in the, you know, is there a cutoff hour for when you don't, anybody can park there for a couple hours a night, or you just, doesn't matter?
Technically, no, but we just, when the town hall's not open, we don't bother
You don't
enforcing it
bother
because
anybody.
parking, you know what I mean? There, we need
Yeah.
the spaces, so we just let people park there.
Okay, so like tonight, people that come to a meeting?
Correct.
Okay, that's.
Absolutely.
That's what I was wondering about. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, so are you putting in new meters?
We have,
That's been discussed in the parking committee meeting. That has nothing to do with the ordinance or the change right now. And as a matter of fact, what you pay per hour for the meter, that's not in the ordinance. We can change that at any time. But we were just, the parking committee wants to do this in steps. And the first step was changing the ordinance and the fines. Second step is looking at increasing what you pay per hour downtown. So we're not there yet. We are discussing all of this stuff, but we're not at that stage yet. We're at this first stage, seeing if we can get this step done first.
okay. All right. Does that
Okay.
answer your question?
Yes, it does. And when that time comes, I would like to just say ahead of time that I still think it would be too much money to change all those meters.
Do you think a parking fee, like a quarter for, you know, less time would be reasonable instead of?
Well, you still have to change the meters.
Can't you just change the fee?
Well, I mean,
in the
that's
meter?
what we're discussing now, and I understand her point, but the meters are old and they're all starting to fail now anyway, and we haven't been replacing them because it's costing so much to replace these old meters, so we're looking at new meters anyway. So we're at the point where it may be cost effective to change meters, but again, you know, Frank can discuss this as well because he's in the parking committee he's on the parking committee meeting as well. And these are all things we've been discussing, trying to, you know, weigh things out both pro and con.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
And Bonnie is more than welcome to come to the committee meeting.
Yeah, you
and
have them at 8 o'clock in the morning, don't you?
No, I'm not in control of it. That's all Mike Aher.
It's like you meant your early morning stuff, and it's like, oh, no, not me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bonnie. Do we have any other members of the public? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 6:24. All right. Do you have any comments from the select board?
Like committee reports?
Hmm?
Like committee reports or for
No,
the
I mean,
public hearing?
in reference to the,
Well, I think they're doing a fine job. It's much needed to update this. So I appreciate, I'm sure, as well as other people, appreciate the time and effort put into this. So I'd like to thank them, the committee.
I'd also like to thank Frank, who comes to our meetings and can share this information with us.
and Bonnie for being our public.
Public input.
Do we need to make a motion to accept this at this time?
With the amendments,
The amendment?
if you are all in agreement.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to accept the amended traffic and parking ordinance as revised.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Wow.
Thank you, Parking Committee, for all your effort. Larry Gibson,
Once we
come on down.
change the wording.
How's everybody tonight?
Good.
I have a contract that I need signed by the Board of Selectmen. By signing this contract, it will enable our department to accept debit and credit card for families to register for programs. Currently, the way it is now, you can download a registration form, you have to write a check and mail it in. We're trying to simplify the process by allowing families to pay by check or debit or credit. We're not looking at this program to start until sometime in February. We still have to work out some details with finance and the treasurer as far as deposits and things like that and how all that'll work. Right now, in February, we're not going to use it for after school or summer camp right now. We're just going to kind of ease ourselves into
So you're gonna.
learning the system.
Okay.
Where it will not be credit card machine in our office. This would be online registration only to start out with, so.
Okay. All right, so people just coming up, it'll still be check.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And we're trying to simplify, just because of the new security at the elementary schools, which we are all in favor for. I think it will prevent less traffic coming in and out of the building during school hours. It just gives family the opportunity to, at their leisure time, register for a program, simplify the process, so.
Okay.
But I have the contract if you want to, look it over before you sign it. And it just gives me the opportunity, once you sign it, I can proceed with,
Has the finance department looked at this, or?
I looked at this with Carol. It's the same program that the town clerk uses.
Okay.
It's a great program.
Okay.
And it'll work fine for them.
Okay. Any questions?
So I know the town clerk's office charges a fee. Are you guys gonna,
We are not charging a fee. I mean, there is a fee for them. I think it's 35 cents for a check and $1.50 for credit card service or
There
debit
is a,
service.
I'm sorry, there is a convenience fee to the people who use it, and they pay that directly to the company. They do not pay it to the town. It's 2.79%.
okay,
It doesn't hit us.
right.
We don't.
Right, so like if it's $42 to register something, we get $42, but the card is charged $43.73 or whatever?
Right.
Okay, is that what you guys are gonna do, or are you just going to?
No,
You're not
we're-
going to, are you just going to absorb the fee?
No.
Or there's not gonna
Do
be?
it
We're
online.
not,
There'd be no fee to the Park and Rec
Park and
program.
Okay,
The user will still pay that fee.
And that goes to the company
Or
who
it goes
is.
to the company.
Okay.
We will not get anything
Right,
from that.
right.
right, but it would still be that little extra bit.
That's correct.
As a convenience for using it. I just wanted to
In other
clarify
words,
that.
they'll be
For the pass.
paying more.
That's correct.
Right.
Okay.
That's correct.
But they'll be covering.
That's because it's online, too.
Correct.
Now, you eventually going to have like a machine in your,
I don't know. Let's see how this goes first. I know we do use the credit card machine for the ski and skate sale, which is very successful.
yeah, okay.
Very convenient for families. So I think we're going to take small steps into this and see how it goes. And then eventually we could upgrade. Then by using it in the office, then we'd have to educate the staffing on how to use the credit card and things like that. So I think right now we're just looking at online only at this time, so.
Okay.
Okay.
I think this is good because I actually think it would, increase also numbers for these programs as well. A lot of the hurdle is for people to get there to register.
Right.
So I think you're doing families a service by offering this way of payment. Also, like you said, the security measures at the elementary school are much different than they have been in the past, and it simplifies.
And again, I mean, we support those. And the way it works now, if a family wants to register for a program during school hours, the front office will call us. We have to come up and escort them down to the office. Once they register for the program, then we've got to walk them back up to the office to make sure they exit the building. So I think this would be more convenient.
Sounds good.
So-
It's safer.
Okay. We have,
But I just need the signature. I just need the signature right there by the.
no setup costs? It's just like you just, someone said,
There might be $140 for the setup
Okay.
cost, something like that. It's very minimum.
okay, that's the, we have the original
Okay.
here.
I didn't know if you had a copy or not.
Yep,
so,
we
okay.
have that here. Is this multiple signatures? There's just one line.
I didn't see
there's
it.
one client, town of Parks and Rec Department, but it was
I think it's just one
signature.
signature. I think it's
On the chair, yeah.
Okay.
the town administrator.
All right, so, we have a motion.
I move that we enter into a relationship with IDC Web Services for Parks and Rec to obtain credit card transactions online.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in-
And do we- and also to, who's going to be the signatory? And to allow
The chair.
the chair to sign for this
Okay,
agreement.
Second.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Good job.
And you have,
I guess he's got an original.
Here, I'll sign this and you can give it,
We need it. Why don't you let him sign yours too? Then we'll each have one.
All right, so it's not gonna be in effect for.
probably not
sign up
till
for-
February, somewhere around there.
Sign up for summer.
We may be able to incorporate it sooner than that, but we'll make the announcement on Facebook definitely when we're ready to.
I don't know.
You're just doing something, right?
I mean, we have to educate ourselves with this also.
Yeah.
We need some time, so.
Get the bugs out.
Yep.
thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
Let me get him to sign here.
Excuse me.
All right. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Colin? Kyler? Come on up.
How are you?
Good evening, Colin. How's everything?
Very good.
Okay.
So I'm here to update on where we are currently in regards to unmanned aerial systems at the airport. And so we had our meeting, our select board meeting on October 15th. From that, we formed a committee that has representatives from Town of Plymouth, PSU, and Argentech Solutions. And so we had a meeting, and in that meeting, we discussed developing a center of learning for unmanned aerial systems at Plymouth. And the focus of that would be to develop policies and education and infrastructure that would create an environment where companies could come to Plymouth and be able to operate, train, and test UAS. And Plymouth is ideally situated. We believe this because the airport is, we have a relatively quiet airport, and our airspace is quiet, and we also have a university, and so there's a lot of opportunity there. So from that, our airport as it exists, we see that if we had a proposal for a multi-use hangar, the one that had like conference rooms and training and aircraft storage, and other things that we see are a lighted helipad, and we would maintain to that point as a for 4 seasons. The helipad would be used for UAS activities and launching and landing, and the helipad would be beneficial as another location where you could have that emergency medevac type operation. So there's other benefits. It's pretty exciting. We'd have upgraded facilities at the airport, bathrooms. We could potentially pave the runway, the airport. There's a lot of as we work through our master plan, which we have adopted in 2016. This just puts us in line with developing the airport further. Having the UAS at the airport, there's a lot of benefits in terms of, let's say, if there's a wildfire spotting, if there's an emergency, for instance, if there's rising rivers that can be monitored, a lot of very practical things that could give us a lot of resources to work with situations. So there's some other benefits to upgrading the airport. We see that when we have an airport, we become eligible for upgrading our highway, which we do have. The Tenny Mountain Highway is kind of got some bottleneck issues with the traffic, and having an airport development also enhances the opportunity to get grants to for instance, get a roundabout or lighting or whatever may need to be done for that, sidewalks. So that's where we're currently at. We're very positive between the university, the town, and Argentech, and so we're currently in a process of developing memorandum of understandings, and so I just want to give you that update of where we're at, and I look forward to giving you more updates as we go forward.
It's good.
It's very positive. Sounds like a excellent situation for the town, university, and
Oh yeah, it's pretty exciting to have have all this. It's a lot of potential to have people that could be employed in a very technical area coming to our area, and companies. It's just a lot of very, very exciting things.
So they'll bring people in
Yeah.
to train here?
Yep.
Is this happening anywhere else, like in the region? or-
Massachusetts has a program, but I'm not as aware of what that is.
as far
We
as
have
in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. We have some companies, New Hampshire-based companies that, for instance, Argentech is. They put together drones. They have contracts with Boeing to operate drones around the world, and they need people to be able to operate them. And so if we couple that with a university that could provide, for instance, a lot of their employees are veterans, and they need an outlet for an educational opportunity, whether it be a certificate, and if that's developed through a university, which we have here, and so that there's an opportunity. There's some other companies in New Hampshire that are also involved, and they're in need of a place to go. So they see a need for it, so that's why they've come
Nice.
to approach us. So
Awesome. Great.
Very good. Any questions or?
Don't they have a footprint at Concord Airport too?
we do, and from my understanding, it is a little bit. There's a little bit more traffic there
Yeah.
and so they
So they're
do.
looking for a place with less airspace traffic
Yeah.
and less.
Yeah.
Nice.
Get more training
For training
time and
purposes.
everything else.
Oh yeah, would provide more opportunity for that
Yeah.
for sure.
That's exciting.
Colin, can you respond to some of the social media concerns?
I'm not familiar with the social media, as I don't exactly see. I do know that I've heard that there's some people might see this as being like a surveillance type situation, having drones. They might be a little bit afraid of the idea of that in our community, but I really don't foresee this as being a surveillance type thing. I think that the mission of this is very clear, as being an educational based mission, and one that it has a lot of the applications of drones are very practical. For instance, one of the drones that they've been testing at the airport is a drone to be used to spot wildfires and map the wildfires with infrared cameras. And this is something that is a great need. I know one statistic for wildfires out west is that over half the fatalities involved in fighting wildfires are pilots. And it's because it's a very hostile place to fly into, and lots of turbulence and smoke and rough terrain. And so this is something that would, in that way, I see really significantly decrease that risk. And that's just one application, and that's through the Department of Interior.
Do they use them for search and rescue?
Search and rescue, yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so I
this
see a
would-
lot of positive benefits.
So this would be a training center and
Yeah. Yep.
educational.
I see that our mission is very, very clear about
What is
developing policies
Yeah.
to use drones in a safe way. That is, one of my I have a lot of faith in Argentech. As you met Rita, she used to work for New Hampshire DOT Aeronautics, and we've worked with her a lot. She came to our October 15th meeting, and I do know that she is very much by the book and doing things right. And so I have a lot of faith in that company from what I see from my aviation experience.
She's been very, very open and, it seems like a very, very good fit, and our airport could, and like I say, the town can benefit, and these trainers, and would be very good.
I know several years ago there was a drowning in our Baker River here in our community, and Paul had called me up to go search with an airplane, and I did. I searched, and I it was just myself, and I scanned the river, and it was challenging to keep an eye on maneuvering and keep holding altitude and observing the river.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see where, if we had these resources, a drone would be much more effective
Mm-hmm.
and much more targeted, and you could get, you could spend more time and it'd be a lot safer. So it's one thing I can definitely see as a benefit.
So you say you're working on the MOU right now?
Yes.
And future meetings?
Yep, there'll be future meetings. And
I do have a mission statement that was written that I would ask the board to allow me to put it on letterhead, and the board can approve it and sign it at a later date. It says, "The Town of Plymouth, New Hampshire, Plymouth State University, and Argentech Solutions, Incorporated, recognize the need for an unmanned aircraft systems center in New Hampshire. The center would focus on the development of policies, education, and infrastructure necessary to increase UAS activities and create a supportive environment for companies to operate, train, and test UAS technologies. The overall goal of these developments will be to increase the number of UAS businesses located in Plymouth. The UAS activities would utilize existing and future infrastructure and airspace at Plymouth Municipal Airport."
Sound right?
yeah.
So if you can approve this, I can put it on letterhead and put it in your signature file.
Yeah, I move that we approve that MOU,
Mission statement?
mission statement.
They'll be able to accept it probably as the MOU.
Okay.
It can go either way.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you very much,
Good
Colin.
job, Colin. Thank
Good
you.
job, that's right.
Thank you.
That's great work.
Thank you for your efforts. Appreciate it.
That's exciting.
Okay. Committee report?
Yeah, we had a planning board meeting on December 5th, and we're going to be reviewing, certain zoning areas, the definitions behind that, and accepted uses for those areas. It's going to take a while to actually drill down on the different areas and open it up for public, purview. And also I don't know, it's been a while since I kind of get to the planning board thing. As far as, the project that's going to go out on Riverside Landing there, and the expansion of, the build-out, along Tenny Mountain Highway. And the intent is to create more area to put buildings for businesses that the developer, has already targeted. So it's quite exciting. A lot of further use for that area, and ultimately, the Conservation Commission's been brought into it to include hiking / biking, perhaps motor vehicles as well, with regard to snowmobile use perhaps in the winter, but that would be along the river's edge. The developer has offered to allow us use for that, as well as 2 conservation properties that he's gifting the town. So, a lot of good things are happening out there. And next meeting for the planning board is going to be on the 19th. That's pretty much it.
That's good. I have none, John.
Jenny?
I went to the school board and we talked about the budget. It was raised again by a couple of parents how important they feel the idea of a reading specialist, also called a reading interventionist, would be. One of the ways that the school board recommended fitting that in would be removing the full-time employee position that was not filled this past year, which would lower the budget, but then putting it in as a warrant article for the reading interventionist, so that that is its own position that would be filled in that specific way, so that especially the primary wing, I believe, would be able to get additional assistance to keep everybody at the level that they need to be at. It was also raised that one of the parts of the school board budget, and this is specifically Plymouth Elementary School, not the high school, but that is an area of concern in terms of budgeting, is the special ed, because it literally cannot all be budgeted for. But I believe they said that $400,000 of the budget was just special ed.
The increase?
Yeah, it's a large amount of the increase, as well as just a large amount of the budget. So there was also raised the discussion about, I'm not sure about the wording, recently with the state budget, the towns were going to get more money. It was going to go down, now it's going to go up, and it's going to go back down again, but at least for right now, it's in the up position, which will give us a little bit of a benefit, and then we'll have to work as the budget changes in the following year, when we don't get as much aid from that specific program, which I don't remember what it was called. So not terribly helpful there.
It was some kind of special.
Yes, a special relief.
Times.
Yeah. And it's something that we get every year, but it was just an increase.
Okay.
It's, the shared revenue back to, towns for.
Okay, yeah.
And it was up to like, what, 300,000 or something like that? But-
I want to say 250, but it could be 3. Yeah. But they did just raise the idea that any parents who had any ideas are welcome to go in and talk to the principal, look at the budget, go line by line, and see if there's any way to be creative with the budget to help keep it down.
So that reading specialist, you said it's going to be like a warrant article, so it's not going to be built into the school budget itself? It's going to be voted upon?
As of right now, there is no way to put it in the budget.
Oh, okay.
I believe the cost of the reading specialist or interventionist, there was both terms, would be more, because they are highly trained position, would be more than the position that was the full-time one that was in there as a teacher. So the school board recommended taking out that position and putting in a warrant article, so similar to the school resource officer, as a warrant article that would get the funding for just that item. This would get the funding for just that item.
And that would be incorporated in the budget next year.
Right, and then going forward, we would be able to keep that in the budget. The parents were very concerned, because if people don't know how important this is, they might just say this is an expense we can't afford. So they're hoping, like I said, the parents are encouraged to try to be creative with the budget and find other places where we can change things or promote the warrant article.
What was the reason now to bring this person, reading specialist, in?
Specifically, the second grade is not at the levels for some of the testing. You may be able to back me up on some of the names. NEWA.
Yes.
The NEWA scores, our adequacy is 85%, and the second grade, I believe, is at 45%. That is not the only way that they judge the adequacy of reading. We have a focus on reading and literacy, plus it's the differences in how there is growth. It's not just that, because as with any test, that's just one day.
Mm-hmm.
They have a high focus on looking at the growth for each student. We do have, a special ed coordinator who can work with parents if they're concerned with their children and that sort of thing. But that was the main focus, was some of the test scores were below where they felt that they should be for the quality that Plymouth Elementary provides. So, and it was in the primary wing that they were focusing on.
Did they say how much the warrant article or this position would cost, what the salary would be for this position?
No, they did not have that at that time.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That was very detailed, thank you.
Yeah.
Do we have anything, I don't see any, we have anything else on here? That's it? Okay. Do we have any public comments on the items discussed tonight? Steve?
Mr. Chair, just a point of order, a little bit of an oversight under new and other business. The Plymouth Police Department also received a Walmart grant in the amount of $1,500. And that's also, and you guys would have to vote to accept that unanticipated fund as well. I don't know why it didn't make it on the agenda. I apologize for that, but we get the same grant. So if you guys could vote on that, that would be greatly appreciated.
All right. Thank you.
So we just have to move?
You need to vote.
Yes.
Yes, so,
I move that we accept the $1,500 in unanticipated funds that the police department also got from Walmart.
Second, Steve.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Thank you.
Very much, Steve.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay. Police Department.
Personnel.
Okay. Do we have anything to discuss afterward?
Yeah, are you ready for me?
We have a non-public.
All right, so
Okay.
I move that we go into non-public session in accordance with RSA 91-A:3 2A personnel.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.